Hello, my name is Ed Frawley. My wife Cindy and I own Leerburg. This is a question that came in through the Ask Cindy portal on the front of Leerburg. Anybody can ask a question. You don't need to be a customer of Leerburg to ask a training or behavioral problem or puppy question. This is a question about a person who's going to get a puppy in a few weeks, and they ask a question about how to deal with the first few nights, week of being with their puppy. And it's a really good question because Cindy does a much better job on it than I used to many years ago when I was breeding a lot of working bloodline German Shepherds. I didn't do it the way she does it. And in the last 15 or 20 years, we have done it this way, and it just works out really well. Let me read the question. So I have an 8-week-old Siberian that's on the way. It's been about 30 years since I've had one of these young dogs, even though I've had 4 previous Huskies. I'm looking for advice on the first few nights the puppy's with us. And with all the videos and the trainers, I feel like everybody's training advice is all different. Isn't that the truth? These days on YouTube, and this is where this is going, is on YouTube. I used to tell my puppy people, you got to be careful about who you take training information from. And look at it like this. Everybody has an opinion on how to train dogs. Ask your neighbor, ask your barber, ask your mailman, ask your best friend. Everybody has an idea on how to train dogs, and they're all nice people. They all want to help, but the majority of them, probably 98% of them, don't have the experience to offer sound advice. And that's carried on into YouTube these days. I mean, if anybody's got an iPhone and shoots good video and they get a dog, now they're an expert on giving out advice. But anyway, this woman said, she said, I have a crate, but it's not in my bedroom. Although my house isn't huge, about 1,600 square feet, I think I have enough of the right gear and am always up for other suggestions. But I will be driving about 5 hours to get my puppy each way, so I'm not sure I'll be home in time for a gradual introduction to the crate. Any thoughts on how to make this first couple of nights the least traumatic for my puppy? It's a really good question, and an important one too. Cindy said, I suggest our video on your puppy 8 weeks to 12 months. Ed and I have both raised a lot of puppies in our life. Cindy said, I raise a new puppy about once every 2 years or so, many different breeds of puppies. And we've come up with a system that we find works for us and helps create a nice dog to live with. I would put the crate next to my bed at night. I find that if the puppy is upset, often just tickling your fingers through the door on the crate gives the puppy some comfort that they need when they're alone. That's really important, and it really works well too. You can also hear them start to move around and start to whimper when they're in the crate, so you're going to know if it's time to jump out of bed and take your puppy outside and let him pee and poop. That's a really good thing. Puppies genetically don't like to pee and poop where they sleep. But if you're going to put a puppy in a little crate, they're going to start to act a little nervous, and you're going to hear them rustling around. If you put them in a big crate, they're going to pee and poop in one end of the crate and sleep in the other. So Cindy talks about that, and I'll talk more about that. Hopefully the breeders introduce the crate to the litter of puppies so it's not so stressful. That's a really important thing to ask a breeder. We did that all the time. We had multiple crates out because I bred German Shepherd, working bloodline German Shepherds for 35 years. And I had a whole room where we'd take our litter in our whelping rooms and we'd put our puppies in the crates and we'd leave them in there in the beginning just for a few minutes. And we would work that up to the point where we would feed them in the crate. Makes it so much easier for a puppy when it goes into a home when that happens. Also, if the breeder can send a small towel or baby blanket that the puppy slept with when it was at the breeder's place, this would really be comfortable for your puppy. Big deal. That's really a big deal. The user's response was, thank you. His crate I got is the full-size one with dividers. It would make things pretty tight next to my bed. hard to get out of a bed and climb over a dog crate with a puppy in it. And I typically sleep with the TV on. Should I invest in a smaller crate in the bedroom, or should I just spend the first few nights just sleeping in the great room next to him in the main crate? A lot of decisions here. I think either option would work, Cindy said, just so he doesn't feel completely alone till he settles in and you have a routine for the puppy to follow. Some pups need to go out in the night until they are a bit bigger. Others sleep through it from the very beginning. We had a Menomonie we raised, 10 or 15 years ago. We had to take that puppy out until it was like 8 months old. I mean, that's very rare. And it ended up being house trained, but it was a lot of work for Cindy to do. As I told her, this is your dog. You've got to house train it. Cindy says, I like to use smaller portable crates, usually purchased very inexpensively at the big box stores. I use that in the vehicle too while acclimating on short rides. Congratulations on your new puppy. Our neighbors have 3 puppies and they walk by our house all the time. They're beautiful dogs. One of the things that this woman could do, and I would tell my people, now they do have crates, I guess, that have dividers in them. But you know what works just as good? Put a box in there. Put a bunch of boxes in there so it can have a lot of boxes. Who cares if the puppy plays with the boxes? But then have an area for the puppy to sleep in. Works really good. So if you give this some thought, it works. If you have any questions, we have a number of videos that I've done, Your Puppy 8 Weeks to 8 Months. We'll put the link to it here. We've got a very good online course that we did with a friend of ours, Michael Ellis, on how he raises his puppies. There's a lot of information on our website that's going to help you.